Hi, it's Joy, and today we're going to be watching Batwoman Season 3, Episode 13. Are we having fun yet? No, Marcus, we are not. I love the show, so obviously yes. This is the season finale already, 13 episodes. I often think shows do a little better with slightly shorter seasons just because there are less fillery episodes, but I'm also sad to see the season ending already, and racking stress that the finale is upon us. Everything is not going very well, to put it mildly, which, you know, it never is at this point in the season, but I genuinely don't know how this show is going to go. I hope it's all going to be wrapped up with a little bow, but I doubt it somehow. Too much needs to happen. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go.
Exactly where you said they would be funny, man.
Jesus. We really do need someone to do a proper institutional investigation of Arkham. What the fuck?
What are you doing? Why isn't this stronger?
Alice. How did she get this?
It's in Switzerland, it's near Geneva, and it's called the Weissensgenähten Sanatorium. Specialized in childhood trauma.
That is what we need. You can actually do the work.
I cannot be in my head anymore!
Alice, this is why you need to be somewhere to do the work. You break my heart thinking of everything you've been through. But you're not well and you need to atone for what you've done. And heal. And you need to heal in a place where no one else is at risk, including yourself. Because if you hurt anyone else, that's hurting yourself.
You think I don't know how badly Ryan wants her brother back? Or that the first time Alice ever met Sophie, she threw her off a 30-story building. I know.
No, Mary.
It is not like
you are a
this
very
is
good
some
person.
Easy decision for me. I believe Alice is capable of change. She just needs a chance.
Yeah, but zapping her with the buzzer isn't the answer there. Like, we don't even know for 100% certainty that it will change Alice's brain in the right way. Whereas we know with Marcus, it has done it one way, it stands to reason it would logically do it the other way. If Alice was also zapped with them, like if the Joker had got off the school bus, run over to the car, be like, ha ha ha, children, zap, you know, then I would be like, yes, give that to Alice, she needs it. But Alice's situation is so much more intensive, and it is a lot of drawn out trauma that she needs genuine psychological help for. I do not like the idea that all of the trauma Alice has undergone could be fixed with a zap. Like, that's not how it works. Whereas Marcus's trauma, it was, he got zapped. Unzap him. That makes sense. Even then, I think, like, he'll have to go to fucking intensive therapy. But, like, for Alice, something like the Geneva, like a therapy place where they treat you with more respect than Arkham, you know, that is what sounds like the perfect solution for her, where, you know, she can unravel how much of the murderous Alice persona was something to protect her, how much of it was enigma, how much of it was her choice. Like, that is something that she needs to do, whereas with Marcus, the thing that triggered it all was very black and white, because Alice she lost a lot of her empathy after Enigma. I like that we know that. It makes me definitely feel there's more of a redemption in there, but she was on her way to doing it anyway when Enigma got her hands on her. She was already planning to go back to Gotham and kill everyone that had ever wronged her, you know, which, again, I'm not saying necessarily, given the trauma she'd been through. Alice needs to do the work. Marcus needs to do work too, but the buzzer is the thing that triggered Marcus. I do think they need to consider it, but still.
It assured me I would have a voice on this team.
Sweetheart.
This is it.
You do have a voice, my love, but there are 3 other people on the team.
Using my voice.
But they also use their voices and disagree with
I
you.
want.
Democracy.
I need to save Alice's life.
And you can do it by being there for her.
What's up, Gotham City? We having fun yet?
Why are the police not doing something?
From a top secret location. I'm gonna be shouting Batwoman's true identity from the rooftops.
Well, we have a time limit now, just what we need.
She's not the hero you think she is. Tick tock, Gotham.
Yeah, you seem like someone that we should judge on the merits of a hero. Seriously, people, do you have nothing better to do? You're in Gotham. An unstable man tells you to gather in a certain place. Why would you go? I would be like, cool, I'll watch it on my TV from my hotel room in a city far away that I've just run into.
Thank you?
She caused a lot of this situation.
We've got to.
Where's Ryan?
Right. Sophie, didn't Ryan tell you where she was headed?
Yes.
Where is
I think
Ryan?
She said she was running an errand.
Right, that's
Aaron.
what I remember.
Dash.
You are brilliant liars. How do you keep her Batwoman secret?
Tell me why you deserve the joy buzzer.
Okay, they are taking Mary seriously. I do like this. I still don't think we should give it to Alice.
I should. Face it, Rai. You can blame Mary all you want, but deep down,
Alice!
in your heart, chances are you spent the last few months daydreaming about what it would be like.
Seriously, right now, this is Alice's time to make a case for why she wants to change and why she wants to do better and why she deserves to do better. And she's still being Alice from season 1.
To have a nuclear. Fine, without his needy little sister.
Then she's got Mary and Sophie. Her mum cares about her. She's got Luke. This is really compelling me, Alice. Thanks.
Safe bet, Ryan.
No, you're not, because we don't even know it'll work on you.
Like you were saying.
The chances it works on Marcus are so much higher. Please, honestly, like, this is literally the point where I'd be like, well, you're not having it then. Sorry, Mary, we gave her a go. She tried to be a manipulative psycho. Sorry. I just feel like at this point I've given Alice so many chances and she just frustrates me at every turn.
Your father hasn't funded the computer lab it lives in. It seems only right you use it.
I just... She talks about his father all the time.
Processor makes the back cave look like a rundown.
How well did they know each other?
Where were all?
So what's it gonna be, Rai?
Go.
Wow. This was a waste of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Have a nice life, Alice.
You've had so many chances, Alice, to prove to them.
What ends in genocide?
I mean, I could have told you that that was a bad idea to gather in the square.
Is it? That was just the draw.
Alice truly wants to prove she's changed. Ryan sits down and Alice says, look, I know you don't think I deserve the joy buzzer, but I have some information. Here you go. This is how you can save lives. That shows you that I've changed enough to deserve it, please. At least if they give Alice the buzzer, it'll be a more interesting for my next season.
What do you mean it's gone? What's gone?
Mm-hmm.
The bat blimp.
Oh my god! The bat blimp. Can we please use the bat blimp? Please don't blow it up. I want to see it next season. Every episode, bat blimp. Yes, people, that definitely, to me, looks like a reason to stand outside and not to run.
In 1 hour, Marcus is dropping acid bombs over the city.
It took her an hour and a half to get home?
Radius.
I trusted you.
We will get our family.
You're the woman who orchestrated all of this.
Marcus, you knew that?
If you do mean what I think you mean, there could be serious ramifications for you too.
Mm-hmm. There
I
should
risked
be at this
everything to
point.
protect my son and failed.
Mm-hmm.
It's time I take a page from my daughter's handbook.
I like that.
It's time to put the city first.
Can more rich people think like that, please?
Decades-long family secret. 3 years ago, Franklin Jed was...
It is a news field day with this man right now.
These allegations...
Are you looking at the satellite access portal?
The thing with the dots and the numbers?
Let's assume yes. So you're gonna get a prompt, then you need to claim access to each of the satellites.
Mary, my love, it does say SAT access portal.
Just click the box next to the satellite file. Considering I just had to remind you where the power switch was.
Okay, team doctor, not the techie. I'd like to see one of your patient intake reports.
I missed this.
What, me fumbling over this electronic paperweight you call a
You two
computer?
together.
Us.
Me too!
Me too.
Okay, come on, I'm stressed.
Okay, hey,
I'm so stressed, but also proud of them and this team working together beautifully. What is Ryan's plan?
What are you doing?
Taking the scenic route.
Mm-hmm.
Lord help me.
Jesus Christ, Ryan, I love you. I like that some people are more susceptible than others.
Making progress. You out of there yet?
I'm gonna try to reroute the blimp over the ocean.
Fucking hell. I mean, yes, that's what we need to do. But where's Marcus?
Not losing you. Nobody's ever said that to me before.
And nobody ever will again.
Oh. Fuck
Should've known
off.
you had something to do with what's going on below.
You mean saving
That's why I
lives?
never wanted a little sister.
Yep, he'll stop it if he's still on board. I don't think he's suicidal.
Plan failed.
She doesn't love you, Wilder.
Ryan, you know that's not true. Fuck. This is only if we had the joy buzzer, we could use it.
The hero.
Give me my brother back.
It doesn't work that way. Unless you have the joy buzzer, punching him in the face repeatedly doesn't work, does it?
I want Marcus, please.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe him, Ryan. He's tricking you. It's a trick. It's a trick! It's gonna push you through the glass window.
I'm sorry that you're so desperate for a family that you believe you could save.
This is why we need the fucking joy buzzer, because for him, it isn't years of trauma evolving the way his brain works or anything. It was buzz. Sorry, I really enjoyed that. But the blimp is still blimping. How's he? Can we restrain him to something, please?
Mom.
Oh my god, Luke. This is the point where I have no idea if I've got 10 minutes or 2 seconds left of this episode.
Luke, there's always
Oh.
some super genius gigabyte-filled rabbit in the hat somewhere, right?
Right.
Leave it behind?
Well, the way this works.
But Luke,
Bless
that's
you.
your dad.
On it.
That's the right call, awful as it is. Why is this man not restrained?
Is it just me, or is it
Finally, woman.
exactly as I called it?
I have been waiting for Alice to show up for forever. Hoping she would at least.
Something out of the goodness of my heart. Desperate I am.
You need to do the
I
work.
see a girl who lived a hell of a life, capable of change.
Mm-hmm.
Do it on my own. No.
You're not on your own, you have Mary. Exactly. This is what I've been
But
saying.
if
Yes.
anyone can survive hard, Alice, it's you.
Thank you.
Deep down, Mary knows, and I know, and you know, you are not the one who needs this.
Yes, this is exactly what I've been saying, and I love this. Alice is actually doing the right fracking thing. I am so here for Alice doing the right thing. Yes! Whether it works or not, this is finally, I should have known it would take the finale. For Alice to do the right thing, I'm so happy! I support her so much.
Thank you. I mean it.
Are you going to do the work now?
We still aren't friends.
Begin to do the work.
And I can't.
This is the first step.
We can at least get it to the city's most desolate area. It's working.
Desolate? As in, like, empty? Go.
Inspired me to be a hero.
I sweetheart, tell. You can tell him anytime.
Thanks.
Leave.
I'm proud of you, son. You and your team will save a lot of
Go.
lives tonight.
Go. Move. Didn't make it most of the way to the river. Luke.
Check in, are you okay?
Luke.
He's okay. But until he wakes up, we won't know if the
Why isn't he in restraints? Because if it didn't work, he needs to be in restraints. And even if he wakes up seeming like it worked, he could be faking it again.
Maybe we can build a different future.
I like that.
I still think he should be restrained, just in case.
Marcus?
Is this really him?
Nice to meet you for real.
You have no idea.
He could be faking it though. I want to be believing in this, but I'm like, because this is everything. If it's real. Oh. Is she going to the clinic Mary found? Beth! This is what I wanted! Is she actually going to the clinic or what? She's changed her hair! Oh my goodness, yes! Or is she just going off? Got the bag Mary packed. Dressing more like Beth. She's making the right choices finally.
Well, I thought we agreed you were gonna buy me dinner.
This is all too happy, I'm stressed.
Let's get to work.
Dear.
City has advised citizens to stay away from the area as they assess
Which is why I am here on the site.
by the Joker's
Oh lord.
Oh my god, what is that?
What has happened? Looks like we've maybe birthed a new monster? I love that episode. Oh, I loved it so much. The biggest thing for me is that Alice Beth finally stepped up to the plate. She finally was able to look at what was the easiest route for herself and what was the best thing that should be done. And she chose the best thing for everybody else and not for herself. And she's committing to go and try and do the work. And obviously it's not going to be an easy ride. But I'm just so thankful we're finally reaching this point. I felt like season 3, despite only being 13 episodes, Alice's plotline was dragged. And I know my videos often get a lot of dislikes. And obviously I'm probably just a very dislikable person. I don't know. But by a lot, I mean like 1 or 2. Most people don't bother clicking dislike. I don't really understand that myself. I just close the tab. But anyway, but for Alice to finally reach this point, it has been a horrendous journey. Like I think seeing just how desperate she was as well really adds to the sense of like, yes, that she finally put somebody else before herself, because she was willing to give herself electric shock therapy and all these things instead of just stopping, taking a beat and thinking, I'm going to do the work. I'm not doing it alone. I mean, she's doing it alone in the sense that no one else can do it for her. She has to do it. But Mary will be supporting her every step of the way. And to be honest, I know that Jacob Kane has left the show, but realistically, from his prison cell, if she were to write to him to say, hi dad, like, I'm doing the work, I'm going to try and find Beth again, he'd be thrilled. You know, one of the last times we saw him, he was making a TV appearance saying, please remember Beth was in there. So I do think that, like, and it's seeing this side of her that was vulnerable about what she was feeling, truthful about what she was feeling, truthful about what she wanted, why she wanted it, and ultimately came through to help when it was of no benefit to herself. That was a side of her that Ryan could begin to respect. That is the side of her that if she had just shown it when she began to feel it, we would have had a whole much different season. But I'm so glad with Alice that we finally reached this point. It actually makes me so excited for Beth in season 4 and to see where we go from here. One thing is that I do hope we see Kate again in this show, because they went to all the trouble of recasting her, and you know, maybe they think having her around as like one of the main characters, it would make the team too busy. Who would be Batwoman? I personally think she could come back and be like, well, I'm not the person I was, you are Batwoman, like you're amazing at it, and just be an extra team member. But also just in general, I know she's off looking for Bruce or whatever, but there have been times when Mary needed her, times when, you know, if Beth is doing the work to become Beth again, Kate would want to be there to help her, to see it, to visit her. You know, I understand that it's kind of awkward with the character of Kate Kane at the moment, but I do think it is weird if we never see her again. So I do hope we see her in season 4, especially if Beth is doing the work that needs to be done. So that made me so hopeful for the future. Then we have Ryan and her family, and she got Marcus back. Using the buzzer on him was the right call. He was the one that it was done to. It's not like the buzzer is this separate thing that had never affected either of them. I mean, they were too trusting that it would have worked. I truly do believe he ought to have woken up restrained. And even we saw how, I mean, when we first met him, he was very convincing with the, hey sis, let's work together, mum's evil. And then very quickly that became, ha, I've been working on you. Even this episode, we saw him be like, oh, I'm sorry, that you're a fool. You know, there's a danger that he still could be doing that now, playing the long game, knowing the buzz has been affected him. We don't know whether it would be long term because he's older, etc. Like, in general, I think plot-wise he probably is better, but they were quite naive to not have him restrained. But that moment where Ryan had her family, where he was like, oh hey, I need my little sister. I really want that to be true. I want Ryan to be able to build a true relationship, one in which Jada is paying for her role in it to a degree. I mean, she's rich, she's never going to pay that much. It's going to be interesting because she outed him as having killed his father. I assume they knew the blimp was linked to him. The essence of how culpable you are for something that was outside of your control is going to be very telling with those two. And potentially for Beth, if she wants to come back and be Beth, how it's going to work with it. Is she going to have to kind of hide her identity and just no one will know she's Beth Kane, she'll just live a life and be Beth Smith or something? I wonder. But I think that could be a part of the next season, kind of facing the accountability for your actions. For Marcus, assuming he's still in it. They could very easily next season have Ryan to say, oh yeah, I'm getting on great with my family. Jada and Marcus are off at a rehab clinic or, you know, like a psychiatric clinic that they've... Rich people always are like, oh, I'll go and do some work on myself. I won't go to... Like, they could be off working on themselves or something. Who knows? One thing I do hope we cover next season is the question of who Ryan's father is, because I do think she would want to know. I know mothers have been particularly special to her because she had a mother who was then killed by Alice's gang. But there would come a point where you would be screaming, like, tell me, who is it? You know, the husband is dead. It's not like he can be hurt all over again. Marcus knows all about her. It's not like there's any secrets there. I truly do hope in the next season Ryan asks. I mean, it's unrealistic if Ryan doesn't ask. And at this point, after everything Jada has done, after everything Ryan has done to help her, it's only right that she should tell her who her father is. So I do hope we cover that in the next season as well. I also absolutely adored the little moment where Luke and Mary were just doing their usual back and forth, and then Luke was like, I've missed us, and Mary said, me too, because whether they ever develop into something more like I kind of think would work, or whether they are just really good friends, their dynamic is everything, and it has been off for this whole season, and I'm so glad to see them starting to get their little spark back, and I just love the dynamic of this team. Ryan and Sophie are still everything. I love all the angsty moments of like, I'm not losing you, and like, I really want them to get to be happy, and the idea that next season we're just going to have a season in which Ryan and Sophie are just, the ship is just sailing, I am so here for it. Ow, I just punched my leg really hard, that's how here for it I am. Marcus enacting one of the Joker's old plans, very in keeping with his villain character. I kind of do hope he and Jada are in the next season. Again, they don't need to be a huge part of it necessarily, depending on what arc we take, but I do think there would be some accountability for them. Marcus was very public with a lot of stuff. Jada publicly outed him as killing the father and her covering it up. There would be questions to answer going forward, especially given that I'm glad the news was covering it as the Bat team saved the day from a much worse disaster, because I'm guessing that was kind of like an industrial complex that was mostly empty on the riverside or something like that, but there still would have been loss of life. You know, clearly someone, I mean, maybe that was just some creature that was locked up that they freed, some Batman villain, but it also could be that they've, you know, something was done to someone who's now going to want revenge or whatever. I think there are going to be questions to answer going forward. But I'm just so proud of this team. I loved seeing how well they worked together. I loved seeing Alice. It crossed my mind a few times, is Alice going to turn up with a joy buzzer to help at some point? But I'm really glad that she did, and I'm just really, it's got me feeling really good and really hopeful for season 4. Even more sad than I was at the beginning of the episode that the season is over, and just, I love these characters, I love this show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.